Good morning students. Welcome to the online teaching session of Academic World School Bemitra. Today we are here with the first chapter of physics of class 12. The name of the chapter is electric charge and field. I request you all to take your notebooks and note down whatever you feel is necessary, and then you will be doing the assignments at the end of the chapter. So let's begin chapter 1. Electric field. The subtopics that we will study today is electric charge, properties of charge, and Coulomb's law. So, electric charge. It is the intrinsic property of any substance. Intrinsic means which is inherited in the body itself. Like as if you rub a plastic comb and then you bring it near any paper bits, then it starts to attract. This is because of the presence of charge in the body. So something which is present on the body itself due to its nature, that is known as intrinsic property. Charge are of two types: positive charges and negative charges. There are two kinds of charges, positive and negative. What will be a positive charge? See, you cannot see the charge, you can only feel the presence of charge on any substance. So, when you rub a glass rod with a fur, okay, then the glass rod bears positive charge, whereas the charge of the electron is taken as negative charge. The negative charge is found on electrons. So in this way, the negative and positive charges are separated. Actually, there are two kinds of charges and they are positive and negative. In olden times, it used to be called as resinous and amber. That was also one name, but it has been obsolete now. So, the electric charge, how can you get the charge? Origin of charge. The origin of charge has been by the method known as frictional. It is supposed that when some substance is rubbed off with some another material, like as some cloth, okay, so some of the electrons will either go away from A. From the surface of A, if electrons are frictionally eroded away, then means scrapping, something like scratch. So negative electrons when go out, this becomes a positively charged. In the beginning, this material, this object, you can imagine it to be neutral. Neutral means there were equal number of positive and negative charges, but when you rubbed it by friction, one type of charge may have gone out. So if negative goes out from A, this A will become positively charged. Now there is another possibility also. If you rub A and B, this is A and you are rubbing B. So in that case, B may give electron and those electron may come on A. Here, the detachment of electrons is taking place from B. You are actually rubbing two objects. So when B will give out electron and that comes on A. Now in this case, A will bear a negative charge. So becoming negative and positive, this is the electronic theory for getting one charge. So you understood how the charges originate on any object? It is by frictional method. There is one more method that is called charging by induction. Charge due to induction. In this method, in any neutral object, if you bring near that any charge object, this is neutral. Neutral means equal number of positive and negative charge. So when you bring a negatively charged object near this, suppose this is a negative charge object and you bring it near that, close to that, then the negative will attract the positive charge. So one end will automatically have a slight positive charge, whereas the negative will repel and all negative charges will go on this end. So slight positive charge will appear on this side and slight negative charge will appear on the other side. This method is called charge due to induction. Here we have not rubbed anything or we have not touched it. Only we bring this charge object close to a neutral object, and in the neutral object there will be a separation of charge. This method is known as charge due to induction. So we have understood two methods by which you can bring charge on any substance. First is by friction, by rubbing. As you do, you rub the comb on your hair or your plastic scale. That is one way, and this is another way. Okay. Electric charges, they have certain properties. So now we will write basic properties of electric charge. Basic properties of electric charge. First basic property is that charges are additive in nature. Means you can add the charge. If some object is having some charge, okay, and you add some more charge on it, so it will be total Q1 plus Q2, and they have got a sign. So when you add a positive charge to a negative charge, then the sum of algebraic sum will be the total charge. Let's take for example, this is one object having charge plus 4 units, and this is having another charge, it is minus 3 units. So when you bring them together, the net charge will be 4 minus 3, 1 unit charge. Charge have got addition in nature. They can be added, whether it is plus or minus. If they are plus charge, you can add 4 plus 4, 8. If they are negative charge, you can add 3 minus 2, and minus 2 is minus 4, likewise. So addition property, additive nature. The second property of the charge is quantization of charge. This is the second property of the charge, quantization of charge. All of you have stairs at your places, workplaces. Stairs means those steps on which you climb and go to some height. So they are always in whole numbers, 1, 2, 15, 20, like this. You cannot have stairs in decimal, 2.5 steps. This concept is called quantization. Another example I will give you. If you want to purchase say a packet of biscuit from a shop, so you will buy either 1 packet, 2 packet or 20 packet. That is a whole number. You cannot ask for 20.3 or you cannot ask for 2.5. Fractions are not permitted. This is only called quantization. So likewise, charge is also having some unit, and all the charges will always be in multiples of that. There is one particular charge and all the charge are whole number multiple of that charge. Suppose this object is having some charge in it, Q. That means this Q is a whole number multiple of some standard packet charge. What is that standard unit charge? So that is actually the charge of an electron. So you can say the size of the smallest charge is 1 electron charge. And what is that 1 electron charge? The electron has charge minus 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. The charge of electron is, the charge of one single electron is minus 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. This is the smallest charge which any substance can have. All the other charges will be a whole number multiple of this. It will be either 1 electron charge, 2 electron charge, or n times of this electronic charge. Any charge. This property of charge to be always in a whole number multiple of the charge of electron is known as quantization of charge. Quantization means appearing in a whole number multiple of something, the smallest unit, and that smallest unit is found to be the charge of the electron. This is known as quantization of charge. I hope these two properties are clear to you. Now the third property is conservation of charge. The third property is conservation of charge. Charges conserve. What does it mean? It means if you from one substance, if you take out 20 units charge, earlier let us say it was having no charge, 0. So if you take 20 units positive charge, automatically this object will have minus 20 unit negative charge. So that if you add the two, 20 and minus 20, it's again 0. So this is how the conservation of charge is explained. Let us see one more example. There is an object and it has got charge minus 3 units. Minus 3 unit charge it has. Now if you take out 2 units positive charge from it. So the charge of this one will now be minus 5. So that if you add minus 5 plus 2, it is again minus 3. The total charge of the body, what it was, it will remain always the same. That is called conservation of the charge. The charge cannot be destroyed. If you are adding and getting zero charge, that means you have added an equal positive and negative, which can be taken out any moment, at any moment. So this is the property of conservation of charge. As I told you, two charges always repel each other if they are of the same kind. So we will find out one method in which we can measure the force of the magnitude by which they repel each other. This formula for force is known as Coulomb's law. So now we will proceed for Coulomb's law. Dear students, let's imagine there are two charges Q1 and Q2. Both are positive charge. We will not take negative charge now. So two charges Q1 and Q2 are there and they are at a distance of r from each other, small r. Coulomb's law says that the force by which they will repel each other is directly proportional to the product of the two charges. Force is proportional to Coulomb's law says that force is directly proportional to the product of the two charges. That is, F is proportional with magnitude of Q1 and Q2. Coulomb's law also says that the force with which they will repel each other is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Force is inversely proportional to square of distance that is, force is inversely proportional to 1 upon r square. So when you join these two relation, you get F is proportional to Q1 Q2 upon r square. Now the sign of proportionality is removed by F is equal to one constant K Q1 Q2 upon r square. So Coulomb's law says force is directly proportional to the product of the two charges and is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two charges. And here the constant of proportionality is K. The value of K is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, which is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9. The unit is Newton meter square per Coulomb square. So here you can understand it this way. Coulomb's law, F is proportional to product of the two charge divided by square of the distance between them, and here it is constant is k. The value of k is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon, and this whole is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per coulomb square. So from here now we will find out the definition of unit of charge. The Coulomb's law gives us the first place where we can define 1 unit charge. So, according to Coulomb's law, force is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square. So, the unit of charge is 1 coulomb. What is 1 coulomb? When both Q1 and Q2 are equal to 1 coulomb, then F is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught 1 into 1 upon 1. Distance is 1 meter. Let us say when 2 charges are kept at distance 1 meter. Let us say 1 coulomb charge are placed at a distance of 1 meter, then the force will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon into 1 coulomb upon 1 meter square. So it is F is equal to 9 into 10 to power 9 Newton. So from here we come to know that if 2 equal charges are placed 1 meter apart, then they repel with force 9 into 10 to power 9. Then only you can say they have got a charge of 1 coulomb. Or in other words, when 1 coulomb charge and another 1 coulomb charge, they are placed at a distance of 1 meter, then they are going to repel each other with a force of 9 into 10 to power 9 newtons. This is the definition of 1 unit coulomb charge. Let's do one question. Find the charge of 8 into 10 to power 22 electrons. Please note the question. Find the charge of 8 into 10 to power 22 electrons. Here given charge of electron is 1.6. Leave the other decimals, and 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs. Since we have understood the unit coulomb, so we should now find out what is the value of the charge that is bearing 8 into 10 to power 22 electrons. You all know charge is equal to n times of the charge of electron, and the charge of electron is minus 1.6 into 10 to power minus 19 coulomb. So here n value is 8 into 10 to power 22. 8 into 10 to power 22 multiplied by 1.6 into 10 to power minus 19. So now multiply 8 multiplied by 1.6 is 8 multiplied by 1.6 multiplied by 10 to power 22 minus 19. Yes, 16, 1.6 into 8, 8 6 are 48, 8 1 is 8. So it is 12.8 into 10 to power 3. 12.8 into 10 to power 3 coulombs. So in standard form you can write it as 1.28 into 10 to power 4 coulombs. So what is the answer? Answer is the net charge of 8 into 10 to power 22 electrons will be minus 1.28 into 10 to the power 4 coulombs. We have studied Coulomb's law, and Coulomb's law says that two charges, if they are distance r, then the force of repulsion between them will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 upon r square. But it doesn't tell anything about the direction. So it's very important to learn the Coulomb's law in a direction form. We all know whenever we study any direction, we call it as vector. So next topic we will move to Coulomb's law in the vector form. Please write down vector form of Coulomb's law. Vector form of Coulomb's law. Let's say there are two charges Q1 and Q2. The distance between them is r. R is the distance. In direction Q1 to Q2, the unit vector is r12, and in the direction Q2 to Q1, the unit vector is r21. Okay. Now, since both are positive charge, Q1 is repelled by Q2. So here is the force. This is F12. So what is F12? F12 is force on charge Q1 by Q2. So F12 is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 upon r square, and the direction is towards r21. What is the direction of the force F12? F12 is acting along this side. So what is the unit vector on this side? It is r21. Similarly, force 2, 1, it is force on Q2 by charge Q1. Now here it is F21. F21 is given by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 upon R square. See, Ohm's law says force is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon times Q1 Q2 upon R square, and then we need to tell the direction. The direction of the force on 2 is along this side, and that is the direction of R12 unit vector. What is R12? R12 is the distance between this, divided by R. Similarly, R21. R21 is the vector from 2 to 1 divided by the magnitude is R. So R12 and R21, you must understand, R12 and R21, they are the unit vectors on this side. So now R21 is on the negative side and R12 is on the positive side. Therefore, R12 is negative of R21. They are opposite. R12 going 1 to 2 and R21 going from 2 to 1. R12 from particle 1 to 2 and R21 is from 2 to 1. So in this way they are just opposite. So what is F12? F12 is K times Q1 Q2 R21 F12 is K times Q1 Q2 upon R square into R21. Now substitute R21 is minus R12. So now I will write it as K times Q1 Q2 R square into minus R12. When I take this sign here, it is F12 is equal to minus of K Q1 Q2 upon R square R12, which is F21. This quantity is here, so F12 is equal to minus F21. Two forces acting on two particles, they are of equal magnitude but opposite in nature. This is also in accordance with the Newton's third law, that is, for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. The same thing is here. The force F12 and force F21, they are equal and opposite. Now, as we have understood Coulomb's law and its application, so now it's time for the assignment. Students, please note down the assignment questions and positively submit it after doing in the ERP. Question 1. Explain the term quantization of electric charge. Second question, derive the expression for force between two charges. Derive expression for the force between two charges kept at a distance. And third question, how many electrons will make a charge of -1 coulomb? Have a look at the questions. These are the questions of assignment. You can also download it from the ERP. Now, I request you to submit the assignment as it is a part of your periodic test. Thank you.